We're going to actually take a trip to the south side of Chicago. I think we're going to be checking in with Derek Rose. Oh, look!
Oh,
we've got it covered. We do have it covered because we want to cover all the bases and give love to each series beginning today. Ballpark Cam turned on at the home of the defending champs. Our first question in We've Got It Covered is, more likely to have an award-winning performance today? 2024 Cy Young Award winner Tarik Skubal or 2024 MVP Shohei Ohtani?
I'm going to go. I'm a pitcher, right? So I'm going to let Kevin make up his own mind. I'm not trying to influence him, but I'm going to say Tarik Skubal has an unbelievable day today. I think this guy is prepared. He wants to follow up on that. I think pitchers tend to, when executed early on in the season, have the ability to have a little bit of an advantage, timing, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say Tarik Skubal has an unbelievable game today. 6 2/3, 1 run.
I agree with Ryan. I'll be honest with you. And I'm a Tarik Skubal fan. Let's get on that. And I'm a Dodger fan, but I think the advantage is Tarik Skubal. Period. End of story. Hit an electric year last year, but he gives you everything he has every night.
Well, Shohei Ohtani, just so you know, guys, 0-for-6 lifetime versus Skubal. So there you go. Let's head to Daikin Park, home of the Astros. Will Juan Soto homer in his Mets debut? And, this question is actually way less pandering than you think it is, because in his spring training debut, he homered in his first at-bat. And who did the Mets play in that game, Kevin? The Astros.
It was the Astros, and I know where you're going here. I'm going to say he is going to homer. There's something about a guy that bets on himself, period, end of story. Right?
I
don't know what happened. I apologize. It's happened.
Who is that?
But when you're talking about a guy that turned down $400+ million, we were like, how do you do that? He bet on himself, got 765, so he goes deep on opening day. Not on Framber, though. Framber Valdez keeps that ball down, but he'll go deep at some point in the game.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Not on Framber Valdez.
Okay.
My concern is that if Framber Valdez is out of the game, it's a tight game, there's relievers, and then they don't give him anything to hit. So I'm actually going to flip side. It's not a flip side segment, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say he doesn't because they're not going to give him that pitch to hit later in the game.
Okay, fair enough. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, where Roflo and D-Row were this morning on MLB Central. Tonight, it's where the Brewers take on the Bombers, two teams whose 2024 has ended in heartbreak. The Yankees in a tough World Series loss, and the Brewers in a brutal wild card loss after Pete Alonso's massive homer off of Devin Williams, who, of course, ended up in pinstripes this offseason. So who's going to help their fan base get over that season-ending heartbreak?
Sometimes I wonder if Pete Alonso didn't hit that home run, would he still be with the Mets, right? It was kind of an amazing moment in baseball. But I'll tell you right now, Yankee fans, baseball's hard. It was a miserable, probably the worst inning we've all seen on that stage. But their physical errors, there wasn't a cover by Garrett. You had a drop ball by Judge. That's on the History Channel. I use that all the time. I think Yankees get the fan base back.
I'm going to go, you know what's going to bring the fan base back? Milwaukee, Jackson Chourio. This kid is electric. I think you just scratch the surface of what you can see. So if you're the Milwaukee Brewers, you get knocked out like that, and you're that fan base, and all of a sudden now you got to go and you got to get back on it. How do we win this year? You're going to rally behind this kid. This is 30-30, maybe 40-40 in the future. He's got all the talent in the world. What he can do in the outfield, I think that's an exciting thing up there north of Chicago. 90 miles north up in Chicago. They call it Wrigley North, but they've changed that now up there.
Good Hitters Park, too.
Great American Insurance Field, I believe it's called.
They changed the name?
Yeah, they changed it.
There's about 8 fields
when did that happen?
Yeah, recently, I think. Yeah. Right after I left. It was Wrigley North before that. It changed. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to our own individual fandoms
American Family Field. That's
in just a little bit.
Not even anybody in my ear. That was just me.
North of our border at the Rogers Center. I want to know which new acquisition is more likely to go deep. Is it Anthony Santander or Tyler O'Neill? Now, Santander faces his former team, hit the third most homers in baseball last year. Meanwhile, O'Neill, who has homered on 5 consecutive opening days and is playing in his native land of Canada.
I mean, I don't know if there's a better sure bet out there. Tyler O'Neill, Canadian, homered on 5 straight days, playing in Canada, new team. I just think it's inevitable that he goes deep. Listen, I don't bet on baseball. I can't bet on baseball. I wouldn't bet on baseball. But if I could place a bet, I would place a bet on that right there.
And I'd bet that his arms are bigger than all of ours together.
Hands down. Unbelievable with no
It's
shirt
an
on.
MLB record to be able to do that. So, yes, he's feeling it. He's at home. It's in the cards. Sometimes I think some of the stuff we talk about, it's in the cards. We can analyze everything and throw it to the shredder. It doesn't matter. Sometimes things are in the cards. He goes deep. Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah.
It's the deer you're in.
He left it north of the border. He didn't even bring it back.
Yeah, you don't need to. They won't let him bring that on the plane. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Sonny Gray and the Cards taking on Pablo Lopez and the Twins. Which of these two teams are people sleeping on more? Is it tough?
It's tough. It's tough. It's like the injuries we talk about the Twins. So I'd say the Twins. But if we can get everybody on the field at once and be healthy and all the stuff. So I would say the Twins were sleeping on most because that division, a lot of people picked them, and then you have the injury bug that comes, and Buxton and Cray, and we're trying to figure it all out. Lewis, okay, great. Just be healthy, get on that field, and they should be the team to beat in that division, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're sleeping on the Twins a little bit. Listen, there's something going on in St. Louis. Should we trade Nolan Arenado? Is that going to be something that happens? There's a little bit of, you don't sign any free agents until, just recently towards the end of spring training. A lot of kind of what's happening, right? Is it a rebuild? Is it a retool? Is it a stay with what we got? Are we selling off this year? Whereas the Twins, don't sleep on them, because I feel like they were right there until they kind of stumbled down the stretch, right? We were talking about them maybe winning their division, and they had a terrible September, middle of August and September. So I think there's a possibility that Twins are right there again.
St. Paul Saints are right down the road. Not a big deal. I just played their 93.
You have a jersey there?
$600 a month. No, I just homered when I was 45 in Leon Durham with my roommate. Back to you, Sierra.
I'm right here.
Oh, see, I didn't see you. I was looking at the people at home.
But the Twins are favored to win their division. So are people really sleeping on them?
I think they are.
They've been the favorite, but what happens is all of a sudden Stephen Bolt steps in, takes over Francona. How are they going to do? They take off. You got the Royals and Bobby Witter sitting there going, really? We had you on. He's got the mullet like Uncle Kevin. They're not the favorite. They're the favorite as cute on paper, but they got something to prove, in my opinion.
Pitching chaos in Detroit,
Moving on, Arizona.
Chase Field in the desert, where my D-backs are hosting Ryan's Cubbies, two teams with some big additions this offseason. I want to know which was more important, Kyle Tucker or Corbin Burns?
Wow.
Whoa, that is a really, really great question.
You're going to hurt one person's feelings, so you have to answer this.
I'm going to say more important was the fact, because, listen, you got Kyle Tucker, but you also traded away Cody Bellinger. So you had left-handed, right? I'm going to say getting Corbin Burns is massive. When you have a chance to go out and get a Cy Young contender, a guy who posts every fifth day at an elite level, is an ace of his staff, even though he's not starting opening day because they have another guy in Zach Gallen who's been their ace, I think the addition of Corbin Burns is absolutely massive, and I think, to me, that is a bigger deal.
Yeah, I agree. He's fifth in Cy Young back there with Baltimore and won it in 2021. My thing is I'm going to go with, when you can obviously you have Tucker and Bellinger, but Kyle Tucker's going to help those Cubbies. And there's a lot of guys that think Kyle Tucker is almost underrated. Yep. What he does on that baseball field and what he does when he's healthy, had a shin burger that's cost him a lot, but let me tell you right now, this dude might hit 45 plus there, wind blowing out this year in Wrigley.
The only right answer is Corbin Burns. Moving on, Lone Depot Park is where you'll want to be watching if you want to enjoy high-end starting pitching as Paul Skeens faces off against Sandy Alcantara. Ryan, does this game feature the most intriguing pitching matchup of the day?
Yeah, listen, I am all for it. Every time, every fifth day, he's pitching, you put Paul Skeens on TV. I don't care what you're doing. If you're cooking, turn the stove off, go back and watch him, and then you have this guy, Sandy Alcantara, who's coming back from Tommy John and going through all that. Two of the best arms in the game and now healthy out there pitching. This is awesome.
Everything starts here. This circle of dirt. 18 feet in diameter, 10 inches high. We put pitchers on a pedestal, the only such accommodation in sports. It is the crucible of baseball. Every great pitch, every great play, every jaw-dropping home run, every rookie who catches our attention,
The time has come.
every veteran who keeps it,
Here we come.
every joy, every pain, every tear, every season. It all starts here.
Let the games begin.
Opening day. It is time to climb that hill and put the ball into motion. Time to hope, no, believe that this is the year for your team.
There is nothing more exciting than opening day.
Maybe this is the first time in 25 years the defending World Series champions win again. The Dodgers are a traveling all-star team. But the Mets have Juan Soto. The Braves get Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna Jr. back. The Phillies have Bryce Harper and a deep rotation. The Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Giants all made huge offseason acquisitions. In the AL, the Yankees lost their ace, but still have Aaron Judge and 2 MVPs to protect him. Their ancient rivals, the Red Sox, added power on the mound
Let the games begin.
and at the plate. But here is the best thing about opening day. Anything is possible.
Time for talking is over. The time for playing is at hand.
Half the teams in baseball, 15, have played in the past 11 World Series. Only this is certain. It's going to be a blast.
Let the games begin.
Opening day, there's nothing like it.
Whether it's your first opening day or your 19th, whether your team won the World Series last year in 1948 or not at all, opening day doesn't care. Everyone starts even.
Happy opening day. It's a national holiday.
Opening day is a clear blue sky, A blank canvas, a story to be written.
Baseball is back, and let's play ball.
It starts on that raised piece of earth, the Olympus of baseball. Our hopes ride with every pitch from that mound. As the naturalist John Muir wrote, "We are now in the mountains and they are in us, kindling enthusiasm, making every nerve quiver, filling every pore and cell of us." That is opening day. Baseball at the peak of its promise, when everyone can dream, yet knowing in the end, only one can be king of the hill.
Let the games begin.